Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited to share with you a little throwback to my journey landing my first data analyst role, and it was an amazing Nike. So as a part of the interviewing process, I had to tackle some SQL questions, and I thought it would be super cool to share with you a couple of questions and show you how I approach them. So hopefully it's going to be helpful for anyone else prepping for the data analyst interview. Let's get into it. So the first question was about getting the number of unique orders and total revenue with the dimensions below in one table. So we had to have financial week, financial year, country, sort results by year, week, and country, and it should be all by ascending order. And also we had two tables, table A with the order information, and you also can see some of the examples of the data that is in this table. And then the table B, this is a calendar table, and this table we have date, financial year, and financial week, basically all the date information. So let's get into the solution that I sent for this role. So here's my solution I came up with. Okay, let's break this down. I selected this financial year and week from the calendar table, and I aliased it as B. And then the country from the order info table aliased as A. And to get the number of unique order, I used count distinct order ID. And for the revenue, it was simple sum of revenue. So the crucial part here is the inner join. So we only want to combine rows where there is a matching date in both tables, and that's the crucial element, and that's the reason why I used inner join. So I'm assuming that the order date in the order information table and represents the date the revenue was received. So we can join it with the date column in the calendar table. The ability to understand when you need to use inner join, when you need to use a left join, and sometimes maybe right join or outer join is very important for you as a data analyst. That's why almost every time when I got the SQL test, they would include something similar where I shouldn't identify where I use inner join. I should explain why I use the inner join, and that's why making some of the kind of comments is essential there, because interviewers want to understand how you think when you choose a certain join type. And I think this is just a must-have. It's not only writing a right SQL query, but it's also important to explain why you choose what you choose. Okay, let's continue. So now we joined the table, and what we want to do next, we are grouping information. So because we are using aggregate functions like count and sum, we need to group the results by the dimensions they had in a question. So we group by financial year, financial week, and country. And then this is also a part of the question. We are sorting by ascending order by saying financial year, financial week, and country, and then we add ascend at the end. And that was my solution that I came up with. And as you already know, I got the job, so I assume it was right. And looking back at it, I do think it was everything right. I like the comments. I like that I highlighted why I decided to use certain functions, or for example, as I already said, why I decided to use inner join. So all right, let's move to our second challenge. So for this challenge, we need to get number of unique new and returning customers per financial week and country in financial year 2019. We also had two tables. Table A, data source order system. This is basically, I guess, the order table with the information about orders and revenue and consumers. And then the table B, data source order system. I guess this has something to do with the dates And you can see there's like a first order date, last order date, and consumer ID. Okay, so the goal here was to categorize consumer as either new or returning within a specific financial year, 2019. And then we should count how many unique customers fell into each category. Again, broken down by a financial year and financial week and country. So this test required slightly more involved approach using a subquery. So here how I solved it. So first of all, you see that I explain steps that I will be taking to solve this problem. And the reason why I did that, I just wanted my hiring manager understand that I am able to break the solution into the small steps and solve them. Especially when you are interviewing for junior data analyst roles, it is important for hiring manager to understand if you are able to problem solve, if you're able to, as I already said, break down complex solution into simple steps. And that's what I did here with my step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, so the first thing I did here was to create a CTA, which is a common table expression, and which I named C. So this helps to make a query more readable and organized. So inside of this CTE, I join the order system table, alias as A, with the consumer information table B. And I join them by consumer ID because this is the column that I had in both tables. So again, an inner join ensures we only consider consumers who exist in both tables. This is once again an important part of this challenge. And then the core logic for categorization, for categorizing consumers lies into this case statement. So if consumers' first order date is the same as their last order date, it means they're only placed one order within the time frame we are looking at. That's just logical, I guess. And we will classify them new consumers. But otherwise, if those dates are different, those are returning consumers. So this result is stored in a new column called customer type, consumer type, sorry. So I also included a where clause where to filter the data from the order system table to only include records from the financial year 2019 as specified in the problem. Finally, in the outer select statement about below here, you will see I'm querying the results of the CTE, the results of my nested query or the common table expression, and I'm selecting the financial year, financial week, country, consumer type we just created. Then I used count distinct consumer ID to count the number of unique consumers with each consumer type. For each combination of financial year, week, and country. And then we are grouping by all those dimensions to get the aggregate that counts. So this challenge is a little bit more advanced than the first one because we need to use CTE here. Then we need to be able to create like a subquery and then select output of this subquery for our kind of outer query. So for this task, you should be very careful. You should follow the steps that you outline above. And you should also make some comments to, it's not only helpful for, as I said, for recruiters to understand how you think, but it's also helpful for you to understand what you did in this part of the query, why you did that, and how you should kind of use the information there. And that's it. So I also want to talk to you about how this all challenge, like how this all interview SQL test looked like. So basically, my hiring manager, I had a couple of interviews with her and the colleagues, and then I got the SQL challenges back. So basically, she told me on the day when I had to solve the SQL questions, she told me the day and the time. It was like 10 a.m. on, I don't know, Monday, let's say. She sent me these two questions via email, And I had to, I think, I'm not sure how many, maybe 1 hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to solve these questions and send them back to her via email. And again, so I was able to use like Google. Well, at that time we didn't have Chat GPT, so I couldn't use that. But I could Google. I used like Stack Overflow, for example, to find how to use like case statement. So what I'm saying is, in my case, I didn't need to be like memorizing all of the functions, know how to use them, but I needed to know how to approach problem solving here. And so after like 2 hours, I sent these questions back to her, and she replied to me saying that those looks good and that I passed the test and I'm going to the next interviewing step. So thank you guys for watching my video again. I'm super grateful when you like or leave the comments, because it helps my channel grow and makes me feel happier. So again, thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.